Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Softball, presented by Coke. We're doing it again, folks. The AUSL Day 2, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League from windy Wichita, Kansas. Today, the middle game of a 3-game series right here at Wilkins Stadium between the Volts and the Blaze. So glad you found us, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. With my partner, Kenzie Fowler, I am Eric Collins, and yesterday was historic on many levels. The very first day of Athletes Unlimited Softball League, and it wasn't just historic. The game that was played here was a fantastic watch.
Yeah, I don't think we could have drawn up a better opening day, especially both of our games, both close games, the atmosphere, the electric play that we saw, and also the stars were just showing out. Of course, Rachel Garcia went the full distance, extra innings, we had it all.
And I love the fact you mentioned Rachel Garcia. She was the star among stars, both with the bat in her hands and in the circle.
Now, this is the #1 overall draft for the Volts earlier this season for a reason. Rachel Garcia, 8 games going the distance, and why not? 8 strikeouts, only gave up 4 hits. We know that she can do it on both sides of the ball, but man, her pitching looked like mid-season form, a vintage Rachel Garcia performance.
Well, the big bat, Mackenzie Clark in extra innings.
Pitcher's duel that went 8, but this was the swing that really put it away for the Volts. Mackenzie Clark, the first home run of the season for the Volts. A rookie a season ago. She's back and ready for more.
This is what it looked like in numerical form. The Volts scored those 4 runs in the 8th inning. They went 5-1. Rachel Garcia goes the distance. Mackenzie Clark the homer. Alicia Ocasio, tough luck loss. She was really good through 5 2/3. Welcome back Daniel Gibson Horton, who had a nice day offensively. And a key stat, look at the plays. Runners in scoring position, a whole bunch of nothing. They were 0 for 8 in that circumstance. They'll look to change that this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at the lineup card of legendary head coach Kelly Kretschmann. She'll have Amanda Lorenz leading things off. Allie Newland, Jessie Warren, good to see her back. Bit of an injury scare yesterday. Garcia's not pitching. She'll be the DP. Romero, Stewart-Hu, Iakopo, Bates, and Clark rounding out the 9. That batting order will face veteran left-hander from San Jose, California, Kaylani Ricketts.
I love to see Kaylani Ricketts still in the professional game. This is a veteran who has been doing it for over 10 years, has international experience. Of course, we know what she did at Oklahoma, but a lefty that has a ton of movement.
Lorenz, Newland, and Warren. First pitch of our ball game, a called strike 1 to Lorenz. We're going to mention it early and often. Maybe Lorenz won't deal with it as a left-handed hitter. She can always yank it to right field. But everything out to left field is going to be an adventure today. The wind is absolutely howling. They've got one of the largest flags that I've ever seen, and it is close to stiff out there.
Yeah, now would be a great time for some photo shots because that flag is full flying.
Another strike. Ball and 2 strikes to Lorenz. 1 for 4 in her debut yesterday. A ringing double for Lorenz. Also was robbed of extra bases. Nice play by Aaliyah Andrews in center field. Of all the hitters in the world, Amanda Lorenz may have the least amount of fear of a 2-strike count. She's got a wonderful eye, and she takes the exact same swing when she's down in the count with 2 strikes as she does if she's ahead in the count.
Yeah, she's a hitter that is so confident in her zone, does not extend, knows that she has the ability and the talent to stand in there and battle with 2 strikes, and that's what you want out of your leadoff.
Hard, but right to the first baseman, Danielle Gibson Horton, and we got our game's first out. It was a cleanly played game yesterday. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get with lid lifters, but we had 1 combined error in the game. In a game that went extra innings. Here's Allie Newland playing right field today. Former LSU star. The AUSL's have 4 teams. generally playing always in the same day, different venues. Earlier today in Rosemont, just outside of Chicago, tip of the cap to the Talons. Their first win on the year. Took down the Bandits, who had beat them yesterday. Little number, Ricketts, 2 down.
And now, nice bounce back for the Talons. Started the game with some power, ended it with some power. Montana Fouts closing it out.
That's one of the great things about the AUSL is every game, every team, you have household names.
Yes.
You know, we're not introducing people to Montana Fouts. We're not introducing people to Keilani Ricketts or Jesse Warren, who steps into the right-handed batter's box. There must be something magical in the pregame meal, or maybe it's just the training staff. But Jesse Warren, who had to leave the game yesterday after hitting a triple and overrunning the base at third, really scary time for her. She has bounced right back. Talked to her before the game, and she said she's good to go.
Yeah, that was a scary moment yesterday. So happy to see her back in uniform.
Typical Jesse day yesterday. 2 for 3 with a triple and a run batted in. Softly to the right side, Aubrey Leach retires Warren. 3 ground ball outs induced by Keilani Ricketts. Scoreless half inning here in Wichita. When we come back, the Blaze heading to the bat rack. Windy afternoon here in Wichita, Kansas. Athletes Unlimited Softball League, sponsored by Coke. The Volts go 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning. And now it's the Blaze's turn to pick up the bat. Let's take a look at Elisa Golder's lineup card. The Blaze with 4 hits and 27 at-bats as a team yesterday in the loss against the Volts. Aubrey Leach, second consecutive game. She'll be the leadoff hitter. Aaliyah Andrews in the 2 spot. Bailey Klingler, 2 hits yesterday. Gibson Horton, Otis, Edwards. Anissa Urtez in the 7th spot. Gold and Harding hitting 8th and 9th. That 9 will bat against veteran right-hander from Oregon State, Mariah Masson.
Masson keeps the ball very down in the zone. I feel like this is a good matchup for the wind that we have today between Keilani Ricketts and Mariah Masson. Those are 2 pitchers that like to work the dirt, like to keep the ball down with the drop and the curve. It's one of those days where balls in the air could be an adventure. So if you have a drop baller in the circle, that's kind of how you want to draw it up.
Mariah taken in the 10th round of the draft. She is a veteran, both internationally and domestically. Played in Japan back in 2023. She's now played 4 years with Athletes Unlimited. In her pro career with AU, she's appeared in 50 games, 12 career wins, 16 losses, a very respectable ERA, 3.74.
You said 4 seasons?
4 seasons.
That's crazy to me. That has flown by. I feel like I was just calling her games at Oregon State like 2 years ago. That's crazy.
Nothing stays still. She's now 25 years of age. 5'10" right-hander pitching to Aubrey Leach. Leach closely associated with the Tennessee Lady Vols program. Was an outstanding All-American player and has been assistant coach there for many years. Was just with the Lady Vols in Oklahoma City, Women's College World Series. Leach is always so quiet in that batter's box. Almost absolutely still until she has to strike.
Well, she absolutely keeps defenses on their toes and pitchers on their toes because she switches it up every other pitch, whether she's slapping, power slapping, drag bunting, swinging away. She does all 3 so well.
And she's due. Went 0 for 4 yesterday. That simply doesn't happen very often. Last year, Aubrey Leach and Amanda Lorenz tying for the batting title. (3-2). Finally takes the bat off her shoulder, and we'll do it again. And that's the title for Aubrey, Director of Player Development. And folks, she's doing this because she loves it. She is one of the most astute players over the last couple of decades in softball. She has many different things she could do. She's already completed her law degree from her alma mater, Tennessee. Hasn't taken the bar yet, but she could be doing a lot of other things, and she chooses to stay in the game. High pop-up, wind could be a factor. And what a play.
Wow.
Oh my, what a play by Jessie Warren. No worse for the wear after yesterday's spill. Puts her own life in peril to make the play.
I feel like Jessie Warren likes the challenge that the wind gives her. She's such a good defender. Sometimes it's too easy for her. You can see where the ball starts and then it drifts, and she has to run it down up against the fence. Ooh, a little scoop.
On the ground, right side. Scoop. Romero's throw to first base in time to retire Aaliyah Andrews. And there are now 2 outs.
Little jam shot here, swinging first pitch. Mazzone doesn't really ever give you a rise ball. If she does, it's more of a show pitch. So as a hitter, you're really zoning in down, looking for something around the knees. You just have to split the plate, whether you're going to look something in or something out. But my eyes as a hitter against Mazzone would be down in the zone.
Here's Bailey Klingler. 2 hits yesterday. Former Washington Husky. Hits this one on the ground. That one will make it through. Didn't hit it particularly hard, but in the perfect spot. Ball rolls into the outfield, and we have our first base runner. So Klingler is the first person on the Blaze with a 3-hit season.
I had a couple of hits like this yesterday up the middle. Of course, this one not hit super sharp, but just enough.
Here's Danielle Gibson-Horton. Called strike 1. Another called strike. Gibson-Horton up against it. Danielle reaching safely twice yesterday. Double and a walk. This is after sitting out the 2024 campaign. Called strike 3. 3 consecutive beauties by Mariah Mazzone. And the strikeout ends the first inning. Scoreless through an inning. To the second we go here in Wichita.
First strikeout of the day for Mariah in the circle. Going to the change. Been talking about the drop ball. How about the off speed? Catches Danielle Gibson-Horton looking.
Welcome back, everyone. Top of the second inning. Scoreless game. Bolts and Blaze. Michaela Edenfield, such an impressive career at Florida State, now a pro for the first time, was the starting catcher yesterday for the Volts, not in the starting lineup today. Very impressive player. Talking to her earlier today. Speaks fluent Mandarin. Good golly.
There's so much that I guess fans and us that don't know about some of these players. They're more than just what we see on the field. We were just talking about Aubrey Leach and getting her law degree. I mean, these are impressive players. I think it's going to be a storyline. You know, of course, you see Edenfield not in the starting lineup today, but how do the coaches and the general managers manage all of the rookies? Because they are coming off a very exhaustive season. You're thinking about going hard really since September, right? There's a little bit of a break maybe in December when, you know, you have that holiday break, but you go right back to it in January, and then it is pedal to the metal until literally last week for a lot of these teams. And so there's a workload and a balance that these head coaches are going to have with these rookies. Of course, you have the veterans who have been waiting for this moment and have been training and are so eager to get on the field.
Rachel Garcia on the ground. Second baseman Leach throws her out. Kaylani Ricketts has retired the first 4 in a row. Ball hadn't left the infield yet. This is how you pitch on a windy day. I can't complain about the warmth. It is a nice afternoon. Only quibble is there is a ton of wind, which is going to be a factor all game long. Wind coming in from left field. It says 8 miles per hour, but the gusts up to 15 miles per hour. If you've ever been to this part of the world, folks, the wind is real. Every time I used to do college football and talk to a Big 12 coach, they always said the most important scholarship was given to your punter. You need a punter to control the wind. Possession game, super important. Sierra Romero fouls it straight back. Romero 1 for 4 with a double yesterday.
First pitch from Ricketts to Romero was a little tight, a little chin music, trying to go something in, and then 2 balls away.
That's Kelly Kretschmann. Kretschmann actually part of 3 Olympic teams, was an alternate in the 2020 Olympic team, but then played for Team USA 2004 and 2008, and then was basically the best offensive player for the entire 13 years she spent playing National Pro Fast Pitch. On the ground, right through the middle. That'll be the first base hit for the Bolts. It's a 1-out single for Sierra Romero. First base runner allowed by Ricketts. Romero aboard.
That's a nice job from Romero because of how Ricketts had pitched her in this at-bat. The balls were a little bit all over the place, but finally gets one over the heart of the plate that she drives right back up the middle.
Well, here's the fan favorite, Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. She's hitting in the 6th spot for the Volts. She is from nearby Mays, Kansas. So nearby, they actually just classify it as Wichita. End of the game yesterday, we noticed how many people were cheering for the Volts. And I was like, what's going on here? And we realized, oh, it's because Kelsey Stewart-Hunter. If you're not familiar, folks, the AUSL going to be in a bunch of different cities throughout the course of the summer. 4 teams, 16-player teams. Every team is going to play 24 games. In total, 11 of the games will be played here at Wilkins Stadium in Wichita. Stewart-Hunter strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Ricketts. 2 down. All right, here's M Iakopo. Catcher from Texas. Graduated a couple of years ago. She's probably still beaming about her Longhorns. Congratulations to that program. First national championship in Texas Longhorns history.
I think she was in Oklahoma City last week a little bit before the season, before the AU season, I should say.
Kenzie Fowler, Texas still has ways to go to catch the Arizona Wildcats, am I correct, in national championships?
It was their first, yep.
Yeah, ways to go. Soft late, but that's going to make it fair down the line. Possible extra bases for Iakopo. Yep, she'll make it into second. Romero scampers to third. It is a 2-out double for Iakopo, and we've got 2 in scoring position for the Bolts.
First start, first at bat, first hit for M Iakopo. Gets an off-speed curve from Keilani Ricketts, just out in front of it a little bit. Legs are a little bit gone, but hands stay back and just sneak it down the line.
Review.
And this is going to be a coach's challenge. I guess fair or foul is the question. Call on the field was fair, a double. Maybe. Elisa Goller saw something.
So as long as it passes over the base, then it is fair.
And this is going to be a quick decision. The call is going to be upheld. That's Elisa Goller. Well, you do get 2 video review challenges.
After review, the call is upheld. That ball is fair. That is the Blaze first challenge.
I don't think it's a bad idea to challenge early in the game. That's an important play. And you do get the 2 challenges, so you still have 1 remaining.
And I always think it's good. We see this in the college game. Same rules applying here in terms of the challenges. I think it's good to use your challenges before the 5th inning because you do have that 6th and 7th opportunity for the umpires to initiate their review. So if you're going to have them, I would use them early, and especially 2 runners on now. If that could have been foul, who knows?
All right, look who's coming to the plate. Tiare Jennings. She's going to bat. One of the greatest, if not the greatest winner in the history of college softball. 4 consecutive national championships while playing at Oklahoma. And she was a massive part of each and every one of them. 2021, 22, 23, and 24. Sooners championships all 4 years. Now she's batting critical moment in the game. Actually, this is a really fun matchup if you're Patty Gasso and a Sooner fan. You got Tiare Jennings, who is one of the greatest winners in the history of Oklahoma, against Kaylani Ricketts, who was basically the original superstar that put Oklahoma softball on the map. Ricketts' decision to leave San Jose, California and go to Oklahoma and dominate at Oklahoma changed a lot of people's lives. It became the thing to do to play in Norman.
I don't know if you're an Oklahoma fan. Do you like this matchup or do you not like it? I mean, someone has to win, someone has to lose, right?
Ricketts was the 2-time National Player of the Year at Oklahoma. Was the first Sooner to ever win that, and she did it in back-to-back years, 2013 and 2012. She's been a pro consistently since. So she's a good 12 years removed from her college days and still going strong.
I also love the battery mate with Kaylani Ricketts and Taylor Edwards. These are 2 of the most veteran players in the AUSL League.
3 balls and 2 strikes. There is a base open at first. Hard and throw. That'll score a run, maybe 2. Jennings comes through. Told you she's a winner, folks. Important moment. Tiare Jennings comes through. 1-0 lead for the Volts.
Saw a lot of pitches in that at bat, gets a curve inside and just gets her barrel, clears her hands. Just kind of waiting for something that she could handle. Kaylani Ricketts was really working her away and then finally has to bring it on the inner half because the count comes full. The first run of the game is on the board.
And here's yesterday's hitting star for the Volts. Mackenzie Clark hit a 3-run 8th inning homer to ice the win for the Volts yesterday. Second consecutive at bat that Clark comes to the plate with 2 runners on in front of her. If she hits a home run to left field today, folks, we got a news story. I don't think anyone, unless you got hair on the bottom of your feet, is going to get the ball over that left field fence. I don't think it's humanly possible with that wind blowing in.
You're telling me that the home run she hit last night would not get out right now?
I don't think so. I watched the entirety of batting practice, and no one got it out.
All right.
This is a Midwestern wind. This isn't that Tucson wind.
Well, if anything, that gives a pitcher a little bit more freedom to go inside hard, because if that wind is keeping up like it is right now, big gust is coming through, it really keeps the ball in the ballpark, allows you some more freedom to attack in.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Ricketts trying to get back into that dugout. 1 run is already scored for the Volts. Swung on and missed. Ricketts strikes out Clark, and that'll do it for the top half of the 2nd inning. But the Volts scratch across the game's 1st run. Bottom of the 2nd inning, so far so good for the Volts. They lead the Blaze 1-0. But the Blaze, they've got the mental power to come back. This is a Blaze team that is very thick in terms of experience coaching softball, not just playing, but coaching softball. These are the players who are currently on the Blaze that have jobs in NCAA coaching staffs. Sierra Briggs, LSU, Gibson Horton at Arkansas, Harding at Mercer just for the 1st year. Kayla Kowalik just came up from Oklahoma City. She had a chance to win a national championship 2 days ago with Texas Tech. And then you got Leach and Ricketts and Trotwine and Valdespino, all on staffs at the Division I level.
It's so good for our game to have these players not only playing professionally, but coaching. It's just going to bring everyone's knowledge up and continue to develop those college players, so that way they have all the knowledge. You come here and you learn from each other, and then you go down and you're coaching your team and you're passing that knowledge on to those 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and that's just how our game gets better.
It's got to help with recruiting, too, if you're walking into a living room and saying, hey, I still do it.
Look, Morgan Zirkle, head coach, had the first hit of AUSL, had an inside-the-park homer, right? You think your team's watching? Like, hey, I still got it, okay? Let me show you how it's done.
Dana Sorensen, general manager. Elisa Goller is also the head coach at Western Illinois. Elisa Goller is actually a great story. She was an All-American at Georgia, one of the great thumpers in Georgia Bulldog history. And then she went immediately to the NPF, where she was the Rookie of the Year. Bunts laid down by Otis. And what a play by Jessie Warren. Good golly, Miss Molly. Jessie Warren is like a panther, the way that she's able to just jump on these little bunts and make them look routine.
Knows exactly how much time she has, where she's at on the field. Otis trying to sneak it by her, but this is a little bit too hard for a sneaky bunt. You want that to be just a couple of feet in front of home plate. Nice play by Warren. It's what she does.
Here's Taylor Edwards. Called strike 1 to Edwards. Just finishing off that thought on Goller. When Goller became a pro, she was named the NPF Rookie of the Year. So she understands that it's possible to be a young player and come directly into the pro league and flourish. I think some people would think, okay, this is a young player, I'm not going to give him an opportunity, I'm going to trust my veteran. But she understands, hey, you're still fresh, you're coming off your season, you've saw a bunch of pitches and a bunch of at-bats, and maybe you can continue it in the pro game. She could hit.
Well, I think it's so important that our matchup here, both general managers, Dana Sorensen for the Blaze, Kat Osterman for the Volts, and of course we talked about Kelly Kretschman and Elisa Goller. They all played in the professional leagues for a long time, so they know exactly what it's like and how much work has gone into the professional leagues to get to this point. I think it's just so rewarding to have those players with all the experience who have put in that sweat and put in that work, kind of giving back and, you know, pushing this league forward.
Mariah Mason. Three balls and 2 strikes to Edwards. Tiare Jennings, who hit for Sis Bates earlier this inning, she stayed in the game. She's the shortstop right now for the Volts. Lashed past the diving, Sierra Romero. That's a 1-out base hit for Edwards.
This ball was smoked. This is exactly how you have to approach a drop ball pitcher. You can see how deep Taylor Edwards lets that drop get, sees it so far back in the strike zone, doesn't try and pull it, goes that way. That ball was hit so hard.
Here's Anissa Urtez. Ball 1 to Urtez. 0 for 3 yesterday. 5th round pick. Ortez, one of those players who was great as a college player at Utah. Defense first player. It wasn't until she became a little bit older and was able to play pro ball for as many years as she has, and internationally, her body has really been built up, and she has become a strong hitter at this level. Time, work, effort. A real threat. And the glove has never left her. 3-0. There's a strike. One hopper, Jennings can't make the play. And everyone's going to be safe. So Jennings earlier in the second inning had the big hit to score the game's first run, and now defensively can't make a play. I don't know if it would have been a double play, but she definitely probably would have gotten out second.
I think this could have been a double play. I really do. You can see where it gets to her and where Ortez is out of the box. Only a couple steps, a quick flip over to Romero, who can turn it so well. So instead of looking like a clean inning, now here a real threat.
Scored an error on Jennings. And we've got runners on at first and at second with one out. The rookie on a Gold is the batter. Gold looking for her first pro hit, was 0 for 2 yesterday. Gold is Duke's all-time leader in homers at 54 during a fantastic 4-year career from upstate New York. Two balls and a strike. Lifted in the air, into that wind! And the ball drops. It'll be extra bases for Gold. Here comes Edwards around third. She's safe! It's an RBI double for Gold, and we're tied at 1.
If that wind is not doing its thing, that is a 3-run home run. All day. Just hit it right into that wind that we have been talking about. She didn't even get all of this. Was even a little bit out in front. So much power. You talked about it, what she was able to do at Duke, and Lorenz running it down, fighting that wind. This was a good relay. Close play at the plate. Taylor Edwards getting in there, showing us the speed.
Still just one out. Here's Kaylee Harding. Harding takes called strike 1. Harding getting the start after not starting yesterday. Second year as a pro. We saw with Athletes Unlimited a season ago. Played for Lonnie Alameda at Florida State. 1 ball and 1 strike to Harding. Mazzone's throwing it hard, 69 miles per hour in that offering, but she's not hitting the strike zone as much as she was in the first inning.
We've seen a couple of batters take her to full count. Seen a lot of pitches.
Misses again. It's 3-1. And we'll have a meeting in the circle. After Harding, we'll go back to the top of the order, and Aubrey Leach would bat. If Mazzone walks Harding, it'll be a bases loaded situation for one of the best handlers of the bat in Leach. All right, Harding's been a pro for a couple of years. She knows that Mazzone needs to throw a strike. The infield is in all the way around. Wind's going to be a factor. Romero drifts into foul territory to make the play. 2 down. That is a big out.
It almost looked like a hit and run was on for the Blaze. Anissa Ortez at third base was on the move. I had to put on the brakes, go all the way back to third. She was going on the swing.
All right, here's Aubrey Leach. Base open in front of her. Should Mazzone want to work around her? Slap down the left field line. And that's foul. This inning should be over, but an error committed by the shortstop Jennings, giving the Blaze an extra out. That's a quality pitch. 0-2 to Leach. On the ground, Warren. Enough arm to get Leach out at first, and the side is retired. But the Blaze have tied the game at 1, courtesy of the double by Anna Gold. RBI double, plating Taylor Edwards from second. 1-1 score as we head to inning number 3.
Big League is here. Athletes Unlimited Softball League. This is legendary.
Yeah, it is. 4 teams, each going to play a 24-game schedule. You're going to play each team 8 different times. We're going to be in 10 different cities when it's all said and done. Team names: the Bandits, the Blaze, the Talons, the Volts. It's going to culminate in the best-of-3 championship series in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. They like their softball there. Tail end of July. Kim Ang, with a rich pedigree, not only a player herself at the University of Chicago, but so much experience in the baseball and softball world. She is overseeing everything as the commissioner. With Kenzie Fowler, I'm Eric Collins. We've got Amanda Lorenz at the plate. And Amanda does what Amanda Lorenz does. Solid single to center field.
Just sharply hit up the middle. A little bit of a missed spot from Ricketts. You could see where Edwards was set up, looking for that drop away, and it just drifts over the heart.
First time today that the Volts have the leadoff batter aboard. Allie Newland, the batter. Bounce to the pitcher her first time up. She's now 1 for 5 on the season. Just looking at this lineup that Kaylani Ricketts is facing, the Volts, more power than speed. I can't imagine a world in which there's too many of these base runners who are going to think about stealing. You got a leadoff hitter in Amanda Lorenz, who is a fantastic hitter, an on-base machine. But she's not probably going to be in motion. Newland shows bunt, fouls it back to the screen. 2-2.
Well, to your point, think about who the Volts are still missing with Deja Mulipola, Erica Piancastelli. Those are 2 huge bats.
Massive.
Even Sam Shao. I mean, those are, when those bats join up with the Volts, look out.
2-2. Oh, look at Kelly Kretschmann. You don't become a Hall of Famer by not making that play. That ball had some smoke on it. When you got it, you got it. You don't lose it.
This is big time. She handled that with ease. She's an outfielder. Doesn't matter.
Called strike 3. Ricketts strikes out Newland. Third strikeout for Ricketts. Jackets with one out. Lorenz still on at first. Here's Jesse Warren. Warren bounced to second to end the first inning. Swings at this one, smothered by the third baseman Gold. On to second for the first out. They can't get Warren at first.
Wow, Anna Gold has given Jesse Warren a taste of her own medicine right there. That was a big-time play by the rookie. Ball hit well, out in front a little bit, but the diving grab right here, then on her knees, throwing it over, trying to turn two. This is what it's all about. Solid defense.
So 2 outs now. Warren replaces Lorenz on at first, and Rachel Garcia tries to keep the inning alive. Garcia was the winning pitcher in yesterday's game. Pitched all 8 innings. Finished with a grand total of 129 pitches. I'm going to guess that she brushed her teeth with her left hand yesterday. Her right was, I don't know, first game of the year, 129 pitches.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming a little bit of fatigue, right?
Maybe a little sore, absolutely.
But she's used to the double duty. Not only did she pitch yesterday all 8 innings, but she batted in the middle of the order. Deep to left field. Can she get it through the wind? The catch is made! Oh my goodness, the catch is made by Otis! Aaliyah Andrews pays the price, but the catch is made and the inning comes to an end. And Aaliyah Andrews needs some attention. Both Otis and Andrews laying out for that one. And still concerned.
Man, this wind is so tough, right? The communication is tough because the ball is constantly moving. And so, of course, both Otis and Andrews going for that ball, wanting to make the catch.
Now, Corby Otis actually came down with the ball while colliding with Aaliyah Andrews.
Oof.
How did Otis hang on?
I have no idea. That was rough. The way that they collided, Andrews, her head was a little bit lower, so kind of took the blow there. There's a good shot of Otis kind of walking off with her. Otis, of course, a rookie, so it's a little bit of a moment for her. Of course, just scary all the way around. We hope that Aaliyah's all right.
Well, wouldn't you know it, Lisa Gold actually has to make a decision right now on Andrews because it's Andrews' time to bat right now. So Kayla Kowalik will come on and hit for Aaliyah Andrews. All right, as we get ready to play the bottom of the 3rd inning, we're going to talk to Amanda Lorenz.
My mic is here. Mic is hot. I'm on.
Hey, Amanda, can you hear us out there in windy left field?
I can hear you guys.
Great. Hey, fantastic that you're still along for the ride. Last year, you were the champion with Athletes Unlimited, and the season played out in Rosemont. What was the offseason like for you?
Yes, off season was great. We're about to do our deep breath. Here we go.
Breathe in for 3. Ready? Beautiful, ladies. And 3, 2, 1.
Off season was great. Spent a lot of quality time at home. My husband and my dog. And now it's time for some softball.
Okay, you're going to have to explain. What was that kind of zen moment you guys just had in the outfield?
That's what we do before each inning. We just take a nice little deep breath and reset.
Amanda,
lower our heart rate.
new league, WSL, of course, opening day yesterday. Just give us your thoughts on what you think this league could be in this season.
Yeah, what a special day, huh? It was like just so cool to see the fan support and already buying into the teams. And I really think with the support of MLB and just having the right people in the room, I don't even know where this league is going to go. I'm just really excited about the growth and all that's to come.
Kowalik gets yourself a base hit. Nice job there to cut that one off. You got a whole bunch of wind that you're contending with out there, Amanda.
Yeah, and Kayla's fast, so had to be quick on that one.
Is there a chance that a ball's going to get over your head today and get out of the ballpark with that wind howling in behind you?
Got over my head, so I hope not. I hope not. BK is the one that could do it. This girl looks good at the plate right now.
She does. She's dialed in.
Yeah, she is. Oh. God, I love me some team softball.
I was just going to ask about that.
In their lineup right now, laying down a bunt. So fun.
Well, that's what it's all about, right? We've been used to the individual kind of piece of AU. Now we're kind of back to the regular, where it's teams and you're sticking with the team. Yeah. So how does that, I guess, play for you? And are you excited to get to know your teammates to a deeper level?
Oh, beyond excited. I think, it was so fun getting in the elevator with my teammates last night and everybody being like, I don't even know what I did in my at-bats today. All I know is that we won. That is like
it's kind of refreshing, right?
Oh my gosh, it's so refreshing. We haven't had this in a while, so fun to buy into your teammates and just care about the win.
There goes the runner down to second, and Kowalik is going to be safe. So runner on at second base with nobody out here in the third inning. Well, Amanda, I've been watching you for many, many years. So many years in All-American at Florida, but pro for a bunch of years now. Is there anything that you've done this past off season to make yourself even better, or are you just trying to keep the status quo?
Yeah, I'm always looking. Thank you. I'm always looking to get better.
First left early. The call on the field is that she left on time.
Okay.
That play is currently under
I
review.
hope she left early. Yeah, I mean, off season was awesome. I had a few USA camps, so got to work with our new head coach and Coach Patty Gasso and learn JT Gasso's hitting style just a little bit. So it was fun to get tested, or like motor preferences and all those things. So changed up my hands a little bit and just, I'll take the secret sauce. Obviously, whatever they're doing over there is working, so I'll take any. I love to be coached, so anything I can learn possible to make me better, I'm all in. So it was awesome getting to learn something new and implement it.
Well, Amanda, I will tell you, it's looking good. I think she did leave early.
Let's go!
We'll see. But I'm watching the replay. She looks early.
Hey, I'm holding it. If they don't call it, I'm blaming you. Kenzie said!
She looked early.
Great.
So I got to go back to what you just said. You led the league in hitting last year. You were the champion of champions. You hit 379, and you are changing your swing and your hands slightly. That's terrifying to me. Clearly, it's not to you.
No, the best thing about our game is we can always get better. No one has hit 1,000 yet, as far as I know. So there's always things that we can work on and improve, and knowing to use our body a little bit better and just being able to, just be more efficient. So, I love getting coached and getting better, and I think that's another thing that I love us being now this team atmosphere is coaches and people that, you have more of a relationship with that can help you get better along the way. A lot of this has been by ourselves for a long time, or just teammates that we trust. So now it's just so fun to dive in deeper, and 28 years old and still wanting to learn and get better, and if there comes a day where I'm done and feel like I know it all, then it's time for me to retire, because that's false. I don't think there's ever a time that there will be where I know it all. So just so in love with the game still, and in love with learning. That's what makes it so fun.
Man, I hope there's some young ears out there that are listening to this right now, because I think those are some wise words. We'll keep talking to you after we hear.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
Hope you're right, Kinsey. Come on.
Let's see.
After review, that call has been changed.
Yeah, that's
Runner
right.
did leave early.
Let's go.
She is out. We have a count of 2 balls, 1 strike.
There you go.
Yeah.
Free out.
I love it.
I got one more for you, Amanda, just because you mentioned you're 28 years of age now, All-American career in Florida. The whole world has just been transfixed for the last couple of weeks and months watching elite women's college softball all the way up to the conclusion of the College World Series a couple of days ago. In terms of age, when have you felt you were at your absolute best as a softball player?
I'd say in the last 2 years, I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel like I know my body really well, and so therefore I know when little cues to get better. And yeah, so I'd say the last 2 years I've felt the best of my career, and hope that, you know, better is in store. I'm not ready to hang them up yet, so hopefully there's still the best is to come. But as of now, the last 2 years I felt at the top of my game for sure.
Well, it has been a joy talking to you, and it's been an even bigger joy, if I can say that, watching you play over the years. So looking forward to watching you play all summer long. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you guys so much. Go Volts, go Gators. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Into right field, play is made professionally by Allie Newland. Had to deal with a lot of wind. There are now 2 outs.
Man, the competitive juices are still there, right? Like, she was wanting that out. I love it. And just the buy-in to the team, right? It's, of course, she won AU the individual season a season ago, and so she could have been the only player maybe saying, no, let's stick with it because I was winning, right? I was #1, but you could just feel the joy that she was bringing about having this regular season and having, you know, having a team.
Sierra Romero, known for her bat, maybe better known for her glove right now. She is playing fantastic second base, and she throws out Danielle Gibson-Horton. So because of the runner leaving early, it ends up being a 1-2-3 inning. We're still tied at 1 here in Wichita. Line score, Volts and Blaze. The only difference, the one error committed by the Volts that actually led to the 1 run scored by the Blaze. Top of the 4th inning. You're in game 2 of this 3-game series between the Volts and the Blaze in Wichita. The AUSL is here, and the AU Pro Shop has you covered with the latest softball gear. Check out our online store at shop.auprosports.com. It's the destination for player merchandise and exclusive styles you won't find anywhere else. I'm here for it. 4 teams, 4 different color schemes.
The uniforms are so clean.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing them when the logos were first coming out and the colors were being announced, of course, the team names, but it's another thing to see the uniforms in person and really start to identify these players with these colors. It's really, I mean, the uniforms are sharp and the logos are sharp. It's been really well done.
Called strike 1 to Sierra Romero. Romero, Stewart-Hu and R Iakopo scheduled to bat against Kaylani Ricketts here in the 4th inning. Romero lays down a bunt. Nobody home at first. Sierra is safe. That'll be a leadoff single.
That is knowing your position. Sierra Romero is the second baseman, and she is reading this bunt off of Aubrey Leach, who's playing deep, respecting her power, so knowing that if she can bunt it down the first base line, Gibson's going to have to come in and field it, and Aubrey Leach was playing way too deep to cover first base. That is just knowing the position and taking advantage.
Second consecutive hit for Sierra Romero. She's now 3 for 7 on this young season. Stewart-Hu lays down a bunt, and everyone's going to be safe. Gold came flying in from third and can't make the play. So we've got 2 consecutive base hits on balls that haven't gone a combined 40 feet. And with the threat for the Volts, Elisa Goller is going to go out to the circle and talk things over, not just with Ricketts and her catcher, but with the entire infield.
This was one heck of a drag bunt, a little bit more traditional, coming from the left side. Stewart-Hu. I'm interested to see if this is going to be ruled a single or an error.
Do you think Gold had a chance to actually
I
throw
don't
it
think
out
so.
at first?
I think the angle would have been too hard for her charging it. I think the only maybe move would have been Taylor Edwards to come out, just in terms of how that throw would have had to have gone at first base. Anna Gold would have really had to thrown almost behind Stewart-Hu over her head. I would go base it. We'll see. Just perfectly placed, and yeah, you can see Edwards just was already going to third, kind of vacated her position. When you're bunting, you want to put it in that no man's land. It's that communication aspect where you put it right between the catcher, the first baseman, and the third baseman. So if there's any hesitation, Stewart-Hu, who's running out of the box on the left side, can be safe all day.
LSU, number 13.
a pinch hitter here. You got runners at first and at second. M Iakopo, who doubled her first time up, is going to be lifted. Danica Coffey will get a chance. You can call it a cup of coffee. She shows bunt, and the pitch misses outside. 1-0. Coffey getting an opportunity here with a lot of different possibilities. You can lay it on another bunt. You can swing away. Being asked to bunt, and she bunts it foul. If you've watched a lot of Athletes Unlimited softball in the past, it was kind of every player on their own. The big point was the players make the decisions. Not the case here in the AUSL. Coffey may be specifically being asked by her head coach, Kelly Kretschmann, to lay down a bunt in this situation.
Yep. And we heard from Amanda Lorenz, I thought her quote was so funny, that nobody knew what they did yesterday. All we knew is that we won. And if you would have asked her a season ago this time, you know, it would have all been about those individual accolades.
How about that? Can't lay it on the bunt, but gets a solid single. Here comes Romero. She will score. It's going to be another run scored for the Volts. They lead 2-1.
How about that? Can't get the bunt down. You have 2 strikes. You can see Coffey kind of looking over to Kelly Kretschmann saying, hey, my bad on the bunts, but I got you on the hit, right? I picked it up. Just a little bit too close for Ricketts with 2 strikes. You can see where Edwards was set up. She wanted that ball in the other batter's box, and Danica Coffey was all over it, swinging away. Let's go Volts. You're kind of starting to see the little celebrations start to get formed from each team. I watched the game earlier today, and you saw the Talons kind of doing the flying thing as they're coming in. I don't know, the wings, arms up in the air, if you will. And I've seen a couple of times now for the Volts, when they get on, they're kind of really just all about, it's on the chest, like read the name, the Volts. So it's kind of fun to start to see those things start to develop as the team chemistry gets better.
Tiare Jennings bats for a second time. Jennings has been kind of a lightning rod for the Volts, if you will. She came on to hit for Sis Bates in the second inning, drove in a run, first run of the game, and then basically gave it back the following inning defensively at shortstop, made an error that led to an unearned run being scored by the Blaze. Another important opportunity for the former Oklahoma Sooner. And Kenzie, this is a totally different managed game by the head coach for the Blaze, Elisa Gohler. Remember yesterday, she specifically had a way she wanted to work her pitching staff and how she didn't want anyone pitching too long. She has relied on Ricketts exclusively here as we play inning number 4.
And that was a full staff approach yesterday. Saw Alicia Ocasio start the game, finish the game. There was a lot of movement in the middle.
Two Californians who got away from the state of California to play softball in the Midwest. Ricketts from San Jose, Jennings from Los Angeles. Technically San Pedro, but still LA County. Dips down low, and that'll be a walk. So there's a base open. Ricketts knew that, and she allows Jennings to get aboard with the walk. And the bases are now loaded with still nobody out, and Mackenzie Clark will be the batter.
And I haven't seen a ton of action in the bullpen for the Blaze. If there was action, I missed it. But I've been looking kind of every now and then. I haven't seen a ton of arms.
Okay, so Jennings, who came in for Bates in the second inning, is now going to be lifted for Sis Bates. Sis will re-enter. She will be the runner at first, and when we get to the defensive part for the Volts in the bottom of this 4th inning, Sis will come out and play shortstop. So Sis Bates back in the game in the 8th hole in the lineup for the Volts. Bases loaded, nobody out for yesterday's hero, Mackenzie Clark. Smothered by Gold, the only play is right in front of her, and she makes it. That's the first out. Good play by Gold to to get Stewart-Hu at the plate.
Great play. Her second great play of the game. Both times diving. One was to her left. This one's to her right. And this is a tough throw. You have a runner right in front of you. You have to throw around her. Keep that ball in front. Don't let it get to the outfield. If it gets to the outfield, 2-run score. That does not happen. Quick force out at home made that look easy.
Oh, boy. Here comes Amanda Lorenz. Takes a good strike, 0-1. If you have access to video from a year ago, you may remember Amanda's hands in a slightly different spot, maybe higher up. She's kind of flattened them out a little bit. And whatever she's doing is working. She's now 2 for 6 with the double so far in her season, and she's down in the count 0-2. Didn't agree with that call. Slaps it to short. Another play at the plate. And Edwards keeps her foot on the dish. 2 down. Good infield defense right now by the Blaze.
That's the simple plays that you have to make. Right now, just a 1-run ball game. The left side of the infield taking care of business. You could see where Lorenz had to swing and protect the pitch prior. She was not happy about it, and so did not want to get called out looking, just puts it in play, but Ortez is all over it.
Now, this has been a very busy top of the 4th inning for Kelly Kretschman and the Volts. Kretsch is going to go to her bench once again, and she's going to take Allie Newland out of the game. And we haven't seen anyone pop out of the dugout just yet. Every team has a 16-player roster, which is not big. You're used to watching a college game, and we're talking almost limitless players and options. You got 16. So you need players who can do a lot of different things. And oh my, it's going to be Michaela Edenfield coming to the plate with the bases loaded. Michaela Edenfield has got enormous power. And as I say that, I look at the flag, and for the first time, well, the flag wasn't totally stiff. If there's anyone in the ballpark who can get it through this wind, it's Michaela Edenfield.
We have a couple of moves countering back and forth here.
Edenfield will not face Ricketts. Goler's going to go to the pen, and she's going to bring in Hope Trotwine-Valdespino. So with the pitching change, we will take a timeout. Pivotal part of our game. Bases loaded here in the 4th inning. Welcome back, everyone. Wheels continue to move here in Wichita. We've got the bases loaded. The Volts now batting. They lead 2-1. There's 2 outs. We've got a new pitcher coming in for the Blaze. Hope Trotwine-Valdespino comes in. You may remember her of recent vintage at Oklahoma.
Big moment for 2 players coming cold off the bench.
So a righty-righty matchup. Trotwine-Valdespino is going to throw to Michaela Edenfield coming off the bench. Enormous power for number 51. Second-round pick on the collegiate side after playing for 4 years at Florida State. Redshirted her freshman year and then played 4 consecutive years, so she was in Tallahassee for 5 total. Oh, by the way, she speaks fluent Mandarin. 2-0. There's the strike that Trotwine-Valdespino needed. No margin for error. Volts on at every base. Another good strike.
Took that 2-0 pitch that was pretty down the middle, and then gets a pitch on the inner half, lets that go. So now you're back to square, and you have to fight for your life.
Oh, got her. That'll drive and a run. Sis Bates will jog home and touch the plate. It's a 3-1 lead for the Volts. So a 2-2 pitch gets away from Trotwine-Valdespino, and it drives in a run.
Yeah, that's tough. You're coming in especially trying to neutralize the power that Michaela Edenfield has. You're going in tight, but the bases are loaded, so that ball just rides in on her, and a run scores.
So Edenfield gets a bruise, gets an RBI, and gets lifted. Allie Newland comes back into the game, and she's the runner on at first base. Two outs, Jesse Warren, the batter. Jesse so far today hadn't gotten the ball out of the infield. She's bounced to second and bounced to third. Florida State has won one national championship. They did it on Jesse's watch. Was the most outstanding player. 2018 Women's College World Series. And if you follow sports closely of all varieties, I'd say that Charlie Ward, who won a Heisman Trophy at Florida State and also played basketball, he is the only other person that is in the conversation for the greatest athlete in Florida State history.
Mount Rushmore type of player.
Not even Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore, half of it.
You're saying you're going for number one.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I may have to find myself in a tavern in Tallahassee and have this discussion at some point. 3-1. Strike needs to be thrown. It is a strike, but it's a base hit for Warren. One run scores. Here comes Lorenz. She's out at home. But one run does score, and the lead improves to 4-1 for the Volts, courtesy of the RBI single by Jesse Warren. Jesse Warren knew a strike was coming, and she was ready for it.
Took a couple of rise balls to get to this curveball, and just gaps it. Couple one-run scores, and it looks like Lorenz is thinking that she's safe here. I don't know if the Volts are going to challenge. We'll see.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the midst of a coach's challenge. The Volts head coach, Kelly Kretschmann, has decided this is worth another look. The call on the field was Amanda Lorenz was out at the plate. Taylor Edwards tagged her on the thigh. But that's in doubt right now. Let's take another look.
Taylor Edwards is on the left side of home plate, so she has to reach across a little bit, and Amanda Lorenz is sliding to her left, trying to avoid the tag. Ooh, this is close. This is closer than I thought live.
Well, the ball definitely beats her.
I like the challenge, though, because if this does get overturned, you're still in a great situation. You have the momentum offensively. You still have a couple of runners on.
Okay, here's the verdict.
After review, that call is upheld. The runner is out. That is the Volts' second challenge.
Okay, the Volts are done with challenges. They'll have to be content with the 3 runs they score in the top of the 4th inning. They lead 4-1. So give the RBI base hit to Jesse Warren. And it is a 4-1 lead. We'll take a quick timeout and come back with the bottom of inning number 4 in just a moment. Welcome back, everyone. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. The Volts leading the Blaze 4-1. The Volts put 3 runs on the board in the top of this 4th inning. And now are going to go to the bullpen. We're going to have a new pitcher coming on. The Volts are going to ask Peyton Gottschall to come into the game. First appearance on the season for the right-hander.
Yeah, good time to switch it up. The Blaze is kind of halfway through the second time. And so the more at-bats you're going to see off of Mariah Maison, you know that they're going to start to make more adjustments. And you have a couple-run lead here. Use your pen, go into Gottschall. This is a veteran who had some great experience a season ago. Graduate of Tennessee.
She has played all over, folks. She played at 2 different colleges. She started at Bowling Green in the Mid-American Conference, was the Conference Player of the Year, finished up at Tennessee. She has played professionally over in Mexico. She has played internationally for Team Israel. Last year we saw her with Athletes Unlimited, which she impressed. Clearly, she loves the game. Because if they've got a ball, they've got a contract, and you're playing something that counts for something, she's going to play. She's from Northeast Ohio, Massillon, which is football country, folks. Kids born in Massillon, Ohio, they put a football in your bassinet. It's that type of place. I'm not lying.
How do you come up with these things?
She is Northeast Ohio, born and bred. Gottschall's first pitch, throwing to Corby Otis, is outside, ball 1. It'll be Otis, Edwards, and Urtez. Otis earning her keep earlier today with the defensive player of the game so far. She made a catch in left field, crashing not only against the wall, but also against her teammate, Aaliyah Andrews. It would have been a guaranteed 2 runs would have scored for the Volts without that catch being made. Three and 0. There's the strike that Gottschall needed.
Gottschall's going to spin the ball side to side with her curve, use her rise.
On the ground, Sis Bates can't make the play. That'll be an error on Bates. That's the second time today that a shortstop for the Volts has made an error. Jennings made an error when she was at short, and now Bates makes an error.
Typically so sure-handed. This is a curve that Otis just rolls over and kind of goes to her knees a little bit and just can't come up with it.
Taylor Edwards lashes that one foul. Edwards singled and scored her first time up. Try to jump on the first offering from Gottschall. Edwards has a secret power. She has been playing pro ball for so long. She's been in every version of Athletes Unlimited season. She knows all the pitchers for the most part. She has caught Gottschall. She has faced Gottschall. She has got a deep Rolodex on everyone she's going to face with a bat in her hands. Softly to the third baseman. This is going to be a double play. That ball was caught on the fly. That'll be a double play. The catch was made by Warren, and they double off Otis from first. Otis didn't really know whether that ball's caught or not.
That was tough. Almost looked trapped by Warren, but Warren was all over it. And this is just picking up your team. Doesn't need to get to her feet.
How casual was that throw? That dart across the diamond from her knees.
So good. Yeah, she has a cannon. And such a quick release to go with it. That's why she's the best.
So this inning has turned on its head. Instead of a runner on at first, nobody out, there's now 2 outs and nobody on. And Anissa Urtez at the dish. Off the glove of Bates, 2-out single for AU. Second time that Urtez has reached.
Backdoor curve. Urtez sees it really deep. Sis Bates had a good effort here. She's been playing kind of shallow. I feel like maybe a couple more steps back, give herself more range with nobody on. She was playing only a couple of steps behind the baseline.
Here's the rookie. On a Gold. RBI double back in the second inning. That one's clean through the left side. So a 2-for-2 day for Gold. Setting the Gold standard. And now how big is that double play?
Huge.
So a 2-out rally right now, courtesy of the single by Gold.
And I like the answer from Blaze. You see the Volts get a couple of runs in the last half inning, and so what kind of response can you put together? Obviously, new pitcher in the circle. So you have to quickly get that information, be on time, swing at the right pitches. But this is good news for Coach Goller. I like the response offensively.
Big chance for Kaylee Harding from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, not too far away from Nashville. That's a good swing. Fouls it straight back. Urtez at second. Gold follows her at first.
Love that location of that rise and tight on the hand. So if Harding is able to get to it, it's going to be jammed. Just well located.
Oh my goodness. Gotchel just paints, and the strikeout is recorded. And the Blaze miss an opportunity. They leave 2 runners on here in our 4th inning. So things continue to go the way of the Volts.
Blaze threatening with 2 on, and Peyton Gotchel enters the game. How about a curveball to get out of a jam? Set up perfectly for strike.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Leach, and I play second base for the Blaze. It's been fulfilling being able to say, like, I've helped build something that's going to benefit others in the future. I kind of feel responsible to continue building on that legacy. I want us to be the best show out there. Just continue to raise the level of play. I want to help make women's sports a viable option for people to make this their profession. And so I'm excited to be with the Blaze this summer.
That's Aubrey Leach. The United Athletes Unlimited Softball League has partnered with Coke to bring you the real and inspiring stories of our athletes. Aubrey Leach, who is with the Blaze. Now, as she makes a difference in women's sports, she's actually the 2nd player in her family to make the same difference. She has a grandmother, Wilma Ann Williams Leach, who played professional baseball for the Rockford Peaches in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. If you saw a league of their own,
oh yeah,
that was the Rockford Peaches. Rockford, Illinois, way back when. Gina Davis, Madonna, Tom Hanks. That was the league in which her grandmother played baseball in. Really cool. It's in her blood.
And if you go Google her grandma, they are twins. It is crazy.
Come on.
No, between breaks, I'll Google her grandma for you, and it'll freak you out.
You went the extra layer. I love it.
Just like Aubrey Leach.
Both blazing trails. Here's Rachel Garcia. Her first look at Hope Trotwine Valdespino. Trotwine Valdespino coming in an inning ago in relief of Kaylani Ricketts. Garcia, Romero, Stewart Hunter. 4, 5, and 6 in the lineup for the Volts. We haven't seen the Talons or the Bandits who've been playing this weekend series in Rosemont, Illinois. But I'm having a hard time believing there's going to be an offensive 9 that can go toe-to-toe with the Volts. They've got some really impressive names and bats in the lineup every day.
Well, a couple of innings ago, we mentioned the players that are not with the Volts just yet. They'll be joining later this season. So when those bats of Deja Mulipola and Erica Piancastelli and Sam Shao, and they are full force, that is a team that, if I'm a pitcher, no thanks. No thanks.
Garcia fouls it off herself. All right, Kenzie Fowler, right-handed pitcher, just like Trotwine Valdespino. You just saw Rachel Garcia fouling off herself. What's the pitch that you would throw?
I knew you were going
to
here.
Back it up.
You got to go right to it. You just do. You have to go right back to it. Clearly was uncomfortable. And then as a hitter, you kind of have to expect it, but I always like to attack. If I see a hitter get jammed up like that, go right back to it.
High pop up. The wind's going to take it into the stands.
It's all about making hitters uncomfortable. You have to disrupt timing. And so that is part of making hitters uncomfortable. But if you can feel as a pitcher if a hitter's maybe not looking inside or she's sitting on something outside. You can feel that, especially with one swing. And so you have to be very flexible, have to make quick adjustments, and then attack what you're seeing and work with your catcher and calling those pitches.
Three balls and 2 strikes. And Garcia works herself on for a walk. First time today that Garcia has reached base safely. And trouble right now for Trotwine Valdespino. Sierra Romero, who has not been retired today, steps into the right-handed batter's box. A single to center, and then a bunt single just an inning ago. She's already scored twice. It's like she's back at Michigan. One of the all-time greatest run scorers. Scored over 300 runs during her 4-year college career. Pitch. There's the strike she needed. Okay, we're at a headset. We get a chance to talk to the starting pitcher for the Volts today. Mariah Masson joins us from the dugout. Hey, Mariah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Can't complain. A lot of wind.
Oh, yeah.
Does it affect the way you pitched today, knowing that you had such a severe wind coming in from left field?
No, not necessarily. I think, I'm sure you guys saw that one hit. Without the wind, probably would have been out, but luckily the wind was on our side, so.
Well, break down your performance for us. How did you feel about your start?
Yeah. Sorry, I want to watch this because you know that way. Yeah, I think first time out, I did pretty good. I was working some drops and some screwballs. Probably could have done a little bit better with mixing speeds a little bit more, but it's our first time out, and my first time throwing to Mary in a game, so just kind of getting comfortable with each other, and obviously the umpire behind the plate as well. Just getting used to being in a game. Honestly, like we've had a 9-month off season, so just being comfortable with each other and the new team. But overall, I think I did pretty well. Yeah.
Well, the softball gods are shining on us both right now because we have a pitching change, which means we can totally concentrate on you. Just curious, we spent so much time in the softball world, so much time over the last couple of weeks watching the college game, and now we get a chance to watch the pros.
Yes.
You played the Women's College World Series when you were at Oregon State, and now you pitched professionally for the since 2022.
Yes.
Give me a sense of how your game is different as a pitcher and a player from the time that we saw you as a Beaver to now as a pro.
How it's different. I think a lot of my game has just been obviously growing mentally and physically. They say like MLB men, they don't get into their prime till they're like 35, so I'm only 25, so I'm like waiting for, I don't feel like I'm in my prime yet. I don't think that I am playing the best softball that I can right now, but obviously it's a new season, so we're trying to get back into that and hopefully have a good season this year.
Take us into your off season. What was training like for you? What kept you busy?
So I started pitching about January, February-ish, just working slowly into that, and I don't have a catcher to catch me, so a lot of my off season was into a net. I'm a good buddy there. Yeah.
Stewart-Hu gets herself a base hit, much to the glee of the fans here in Wichita, which is her hometown. Yeah. So welcome to the game, Brooke McCubbin, who is the new pitcher right now for the Blaze. So you don't have a catcher sometimes.
Yeah, never. I didn't throw to, I think maybe once I had a catcher, but not like throwing full to a catcher. Yeah, so I was just working to a net and putting up little tapes to get the locations and things like that. Nice, come on.
That another base hit into center field. This is Coffey to load the bases.
Yeah, Coffey.
Your team offensively, Eric and I were talking about, we think they might be one of the stronger offensive teams. Did you have to do any inter squads? Did you have to pitch to this squad before?
We did, yeah. We did a few times. Yeah, very, very scary. I'm glad they're on my team. When I saw the draft, I was like, oh my goodness, thank you, God. I would not want to pitch against them, honestly. I would not.
We've got the bases loaded. We have just one out, and coming back into the game, TRA Jennings. So we've seen Bates and Jennings kind of flip-flop over the last couple of innings. And now it's Jennings' turn to bat with the bases loaded. Good golly, one of the greatest clutch performers in the history of college softball is going to bat as a professional with the bases loaded. What do you think about this concept of getting back to playing with the same team all summer long? Mariah, you spent the last 3 years playing a different variety when you're kind of playing for yourself.
I'm so glad that we have set teams, honestly. Like, it's hard to, you know, especially with the players being the, like, captain coaches in a sense, right? Like, right in the lineup. I think it's nice that we have some coaches to finally take those reins for us. But I'm so excited to be able to just form relationships with everyone, get comfortable with the infield, with our catchers. We have a few people in Japan still, so I'm excited for them to get back and have everybody here. But our reserves are doing great. Everyone's just, I love it. This team is so fun. I mean, what do we have? We have 10 hits already in the 4th inning, or were we in the 5th? And I think yesterday we had like 9 total. So to come out and have a showing like that, it's just been so fun. I'm really excited for this year.
Well, we're excited to watch you all summer long. Thank you for your time, Mariah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Go Volts.
I think that must be like a team mandate. We've got that from Lorenz, like the whole Go Votes thing. I like it. Big opportunity for Jennings. And that'll get through. Another run will score, maybe 2. No, they'll put the brakes on Stewart-Hu. Now she'll come home. What base running by Kelsey Stewart-Hu. Oh, she was going to stop at third base. They weren't paying attention to her, and she said, I'm going to get another run. Winning base running play by Kelsey Stewart-Hu.
Kelsey Stewart-Hu was one of my favorite base runners to watch when she was at Florida. She just always was causing chaos on the base paths and takes a single and turns it into a 2-run single. Nice piece of hitting here from Jennings. I feel like the Volts just continue to see the ball so well up the middle. Just reads it so perfectly. You could see that there was a little hesitation by Kowalik out in center field, and Kelsey Stewart-Hu said, I see your hesitation, and I will race you down 60 feet for another run.
So give Jennings 2 runs batted in. Jennings didn't even start the game, and she's already been aboard 3 times with a walk, 2 singles, and 3 RBI. Here's Mackenzie Clark, 3-run homer yesterday. We've had a combined 17 hits, 7 runs, and we're just in the 5th inning. Brooke McCubbin. And smashed foul. Now this is the other end of the extreme for the pitcher for the Blaze, Brooke McCubbin. Yesterday she came out of the bullpen and she saw 3 batters and retired them all. So far she's come into the game today, faced 3 batters and allowed 3 base hits. Sometimes you're the bear, sometimes you get eaten by the bear. That's the world of professional softball.
Put it on a shirt.
Well, foul.
These are former teammates going at it right here. Brooke McCubbin, Mackenzie Clark, Clemson Tigers. Clark in her 2nd year as a professional. McCubbin, a true rookie that spent a lot of time together in college.
Well, things are starting to get a little bit dicey right now. We are playing with a run-ahead rule here in the AUSL. The number's 8. So if any team is up by 8 after the game is complete, 4.5 innings, it's over. So we're not quite there yet. But a 5-run lead for the Volts. Now, if for some reason 3 more runs score for the Volts here in the top of the 5th inning, we will see the Blaze bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. But we're getting to that point in the game where we need to talk about it a little bit. Still just 1 out here in the 5th inning.
Well, we all saw what Mackenzie Clark did last night. This is almost the exact situation.
She's not getting out of the ballpark today. I'm here to tell you.
Don't let her hear you.
We talked about it pregame. I was talking about batting practice. You guys can't get it out today. The wind is howling in from left. Dorothy and Toto have seen winds like this before here in Kansas. And we got big clumps of something on the field. Is that dirt?
That is dirt.
Did that come from the bottom of the cleats?
No, I think it just came out of where McCubbin maybe was dragging or stepping. Third pitching change, and so when you're going to have multiple pitchers, everyone has a different drag, everyone has a different landing point, and sometimes that can shake up the dirt and shake up the clay a little bit.
Off the end of the bat, truly. And Clark stays alive.
I love this at bat both ways. This is just a fun challenge. No secrets between these two. You've seen Brooke McCubbin shake off a couple of pitches.
High pop up into the wind. 2 down. And now I need to amend this. I said that no one's going to hit a home run to left. That's not the case with right. The ball can get out of here in right field, and that's where Amanda Lorenz's power is. Fourth at bat of the game for Amanda. 1 for 3. Lorenz batting with a chip on her shoulder. She made an out her last time up and wasn't really thrilled with the strike zone that got her down in the count 0-2 early. Now she's got a good hitter's count. 2-0. Two and one. Volts have scored 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and now 2 more here in the fifth. Three and one. Really good. 5 of 9 runners in scoring position. And a 5-pitch walk to Lorenz. Bases are loaded again. Second time today that Amanda Lorenz has reached base safely, and now the bases are loaded for Michaela Edenfield. And Elisa Goller does not want McCubbin to face Edenfield. So coming back into the game is the pitcher who began this inning, Hope Trotwine-Valdespino. This is interesting.
Very.
Because Trotwine-Valdespino faced Edenfield just an inning ago and hit her with a pitch.
Yep.
With the bases loaded. And now we've got the bases loaded again. You get all the money in my wallet if she hits her with a pitch 2 consecutive innings with the bases loaded.
The Volts continue to turn their lineup over, so that situation was literally just an inning ago.
So Trotwine-Valdespino's not even going to get a pitch to warm up. She's just coming back into the game. So we're doing it, folks. Okay. Hope Trotwine-Valdespino back in the game facing Edenfield. High pop-up. Leach makes the play, and the side is retired. So good job by Hope Trotwine-Valdespino to get Edenfield to end the inning. But the Volts, they scored 2 more times. They lead 6-1. She's out at home, but 1 run does score. Bottom of the 5th inning, offense hadn't been a problem for the Volts. They've already got 6 runs on 11 base hits, 1 run on 6 base hits for the Blaze. We've seen 3 pitchers for the Blaze, 2 pitchers for the Volts. With Kenzie Fowler, Amir Collins, Peyton Gottschall in the circle for the Volts. Leach hits this one in the air, shallow left field. Moving out in the outfield grass and making the play is the shortstop, Jennings. Second full inning of work for Gottschall. She replaced Mazzone, who pitched the first 3 innings. Here's Kayla Kowalik. Came into the game in place of Aaliyah Andrews, who ran into Corby Otis out in the outfield. That was the tail end of the 3rd inning. Kowalik already with 1 single, trying to beat on another infield hit, and she's out at first. Good play by Jennings.
Well, I love Peyton Gottschall just coming in after another big inning offensively from her team, just coming in and pumping strikes. Not even worrying about it, pitching to contact, trusting her defense, 2 quick outs.
Here's Bailey Klingler. If that name Klingler sounds familiar to you and you're a college football fan, it's because her dad and her uncle were both record-setting quarterbacks at the University of Houston. Her uncle, David Klingler, was Heisman Trophy finalist back in the 90s. First-round pick, Cincinnati Bengal. Klingler spent her winter in Mexico. One of a handful of athletes with the AUSL who spent their winter playing in Mexican Pro League. Klingler led that league in runs batted in. Played in Monterrey. Hit well down the line, but foul. About 2 feet wide of the left field line.
Bailey Klingler was one of the hardest hitters to strike out when she was at Washington, and that has continued as a professional. She just has tough at-bats. Has the ability to just put barrel to ball. It's kind of a bad ball hitter, so as a pitcher, you hate that because you're not comfortable pitching balls that are out of the zone. She has the ability to just get to the ball.
That one's going to make it through. We have had a whole bunch of base hits that have gone just right over the second base bag today. 2-out single for Klingler, her second hit of the game. She now has 2 hits in each of her first 2 games. She thinks she's back in Washington. It's not supposed to be this easy. Here's Danielle Gibson Horton, 0 for 2. I'm a big fan of left-handed swings, and Gibson Horton has a beautiful one. Into the glove of the third baseman, Jesse Warren. Side is retired. So another 0 put on the board by Peyton Gottschall, and the lead of 5 continues for the Volts.
Jesse Warren, she's had some business today. She's all over it, though. A couple of different plays we've seen her make defensively. Full stretch out of the inning.
Five complete here in Wichita, Kansas. Top of the 6th inning. Volts lead the Blaze 6-1. Be sure to check out the brand new AU Pro Athletes Marketplace. This hub is for businesses and fans to engage with AU athletes directly on a variety of individual NIL activities. Go to auprosports.com/marketplace to see how you can support your favorite athletes today. With Kenzie Fowler, I'm Eric Collins. We've got Jesse Warren leading things off. My phone's been blowing up, man. I guess the good people in a sports bar out there in Chilliwack are wondering why I didn't mention Deion Sanders as being one of the greatest athletes to come out of Florida State in the same class as Jesse Warren. I'd get Charlie Ward, who won a Heisman Trophy and also played in the NBA with the Knicks. Yeah, Deion, pretty good. Yeah.
All right, yep.
Okay, I respect that.
Add him to the Mount Rushmore.
But I'm still saying Jesse Warren.
So you need a fourth, is what I'm hearing.
We're going Jesse Warren, Charlie Ward, Deion Sanders, Burt Reynolds.
All right.
I think he played football. Remember Burt Reynolds, the actor? Not quite on the Mount Rushmore, but still, he's distinctive.
We didn't say there had to be any categories of who made the Mount Rushmore of Florida State.
Jesse Warren will be followed by Rachel Garcia and Sierra Romero. She has always worn number 30. Big NBA fan. And she wears 30 because Steph Curry wears number 30. And as good as Steph Curry has been in his NBA career, that is as good as Jesse Warren has been in her pro softball career. Apples to apples. Swung on and missed. That's not going to happen again the rest of the summer. That's a bad swing by Warren, and she strikes out.
Troutwine, Valdespino just pulling the string. Down in the zone, going to the off speed, way out in front.
First strikeout for Troutwine, Valdespino. Here's Rachel Garcia. We've got another one coming your way. 3-game series, Volts and Blaze here in Wichita. Lashed into the gap in left center field. Trying to cut it off is Otis. She does, and that will keep Rachel Garcia on at first with a single.
Love to see some offense from Rachel Garcia. Yesterday's star in the circle for the Volts. Went the distance. 8 innings pitched, had 8 strikeouts, but stays in the lineup because of what a dynamic player she is on both sides of the ball.
Good changeup. Romero out in front of it. Probably could have swung twice on that pitch. Once again, 2 Romeros in the league. Younger sister Sydney playing. That one will get through. Wow, what a good offensive day for Sierra Romero. She has now got 3 singles. She's 3 for 4. I was talking to Kelly Kretschmann, her head coach, and she said that Sierra Romero is in elite shape. She's been banged up over the last couple of years, and injuries to all parts of her body, but she's healthy, had a good offseason, and it's showing. Kelly Kretschmann's going to make another change. She's going to bring in Stoddard to run for Garcia. So a pinch runner. Miranda Stoddard at second base. Sierra Romero follows her first. Need to bring it up again. We're playing with a run-ahead rule this year. The number is 8. If for some reason the Volts could get 3 runs this inning and then hold the Blaze to nothing in the bottom of the 6th inning, the game would immediately come to an end. Volts have scored 1 time in the 2nd, 3 times in the 4th, twice in the 5th. Stewart-Hunter. She's got a meatloaf special next to her name. She's 2 for 3, which is not bad.
Is that because meatloaf is only 2/3 meat?
No, I want you, I need you, but there's no way that I'm ever going to love you, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's a Meatloaf song back in, I mean, what, geez, the 80s?
All right, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Moving past that one.
2-1. 2-2. Stewart-Hunter hadn't taken the bat off her shoulder yet.
Yeah, I would continue to go outside to Stewart-Hunter. You can tell she's been looking in, lets 2 pitches go that are away, just stay away.
Slapped into left field. That'll get down. Stoddard will stop at third. So Stewart-Hu, just like Sierra Romero in front of her, with a 3-hit day.
Volts just passing the bat offensively. All 3 of these hits just kind of spraying the field, not doing too much, no big doubles, no big home runs, just simple swings, letting Troutwine Valdespino provide the power. A couple of 2-strike singles as well.
Bottom part of the order has been electric for the Volts. You got Sierra Romero in the 5 hole, she's 3 for 4. You got Stewart-Hu in the 6th spot, 3 hits. In the 7th spot, the combination of Iakopo and Coffey, 3 for 3. Into center field, Kowalik going back! Can't make the play! That'll score a pair! It's a 2-run double for Coffey! And 3 hits off the bench for Coffey.
That'll keep a job. The rookie powering up here with bases loaded. She has 3 veterans in front of her setting the table, but a big swing. Danica Coffey coming from LSU. First season professionally. This is a good a hit as we've seen today over the head of Kowalik out in center field.
And now Jennings will bat. 2 for 2 with a walk. She has driven in 3. If she can bring in Stewart-Hu from third, that would make it an 8-run game, and we would have to play the bottom of the 6th with the chance of this one ending early. The Volts doing all of this, 15 hits, and the ball hadn't left the yard. Singles and doubles. It's like death by paper cuts. Another crooked number on the scoreboard. 3 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th. And counting, it's 3-0. Welcome to Pro Ball, Tiare Jennings. She has now faced 3 different pitchers in the last 3 innings. She faced Ricketts and walked in the 4th. She faced McCubbin in the 5th and single. And now she's facing Troutwine Valdespino here in the 6th. 3-2. Misses inside. 4th consecutive time that Jennings has reached safely.
Second walk, 2 hits. Both of her hits have been RBIs, so just a solid day. Another day at the office for Tiare Jennings.
How about that? These are 2 players who didn't even start. Coffey and Jennings, a combined 5 for 5 off the bench. That is depth. Mackenzie Clark. 3-run home run last night in the 8th inning to salt it away for the Volts. Hadn't been able to back it up today. She's 0 for 3. Did reach and score back in the 4th inning. I think if you're the Blaze and a ball's hit to the infielder, you got to come home. Okay, now Troutwine Valdespino can't run the risk of walking Clark. It's a 2-1 count. You don't want to go to 3-1. This has got to be a strike. There it is. 2-2. Nowhere to put Clark. Bases full of Volts. Popped up, out of play.
Amanda Lorenz looming on deck, the top of the lineup, ready to turn the offensive lineup over again. They've done this a couple of times today where they've gotten close to batting through the lineup.
Oh my goodness, got her. That is the second time today that a Volt has been hit with the bases loaded by Hope Trotwine-Valdespino. And that moves the lead to 9-1. And we've got that magic number of 8. So the run ahead is staring the Blaze in the face.
The same pitch that we saw Michaela Edenfield get hit with a couple of innings ago, that rise ball on the inside part of the plate.
Well, that hit by pitch to number 86 may have just 86'd the Blaze. A little shout out to all you waiters out there. The bases are still loaded, still just 1 out. Already this inning, 3 runs have scored. I don't think there's a hitter in the world who wouldn't trade a bruise for a run batted in. We've got an official timeout right now. I'm not sure what this is all about.
I think just giving a breather, giving a moment, regrouping.
Okay, top of the order, and Amanda Lorenz. 5th time to the plate for Lorenz. She's 1 for 3 with a walk. The first out of this inning was Jessie Warren. She struck out swinging. Since then, 6 consecutive Volts have reached safely. Good golly. And Lorenz down in the count 0-2.
This is where she's comfortable. 0-2 does not phase a hitter like Amanda Lorenz.
Slaps it into the glove of Gold. Wow. I'll tell you, Gold's got a gold glove. She can really pick it. Another run does score, give the RBI to Lorenz, and the lead is now 10-1.
We've seen some great defensive plays from both of our third basemen today, with Jessie Warren for the Volts and Anna Gold for the Blaze.
So 4 runs have scored here in the top of the 6th inning. Michaela Edenfield will bat. She drove in a run with a hit by pitch against Hope Trotwine-Valdespino back in the 4th inning. Will it be playable? It is. Into the glove of Gold, side retired, but 9 Volts come to the plate and 4 of them score. It is a 10-1 lead. The Volts on top of the Blaze. The Athletes Unlimited Softball League is sponsored by Coke. A river runs right through it. A river with a funky name. They call it the Arkansas River, even though it's spelled like Arkansas. Who knew? That's how they rock and roll here in the Sunflower State. 10-1 is our score. The Volts on top of the Blaze. This is the bottom of the 6th inning. Because of the run-ahead rule, the Blaze, they're going to need to score at least 2 times to keep this game alive. If a team is up by 8, once you get to this point in the game, game's over. So the Blaze are going to have an opportunity to at least get this to within 8. Otherwise, it's going to be an early exit to the ball game. Corby Otis leads things off against Peyton Gottschall. On a windy day, the Volts have just peppered the Blaze pitching staff, 3 different pitchers, with a barrage of singles and doubles. They've also added in a couple of walks, a couple hit batsmen.
That's made for a long game. I think if anyone looked at this score, you would just automatically assume, oh, a couple of home runs were hit with You know, a couple swings, no. It was a lot of singles. A couple free passes. We had some walks, some hit by pitches.
Coffey, not able to make the play. Otis runs really well, and that'll be an infield single.
Coffey coming in, replacing Romero, who's now in right field, who is our original second baseman today. So getting some rookies some work. You have some runs to play with and showing us why she's a defensive stud out there. Played third base for LSU this season, but really can play anywhere in the infield.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun this entire summer trying to just figure out what the head coaches are doing. There's just 16 player rosters, but it seems like so many of these players can play multiple positions. You got the Kowaliks of the world who can play center field and catch. You know, we got Erica Piancastelli when she comes back who can play the outfield. She can catch. You know, infielders playing all over the diamond. Hannah Flippin, second, short, third. I don't think I've ever seen Sierra Romero play right field, but she's out there right now. We got pitchers who can hit.
Well, it also might be one of those things where you're surrounded by the best of the best. Like, these are the best, not only players in the country, but these are the best players in the world. And so you may be coming in being the best at one position, but you're on a team with an All-American at another.
Hey, look at Taylor Edwards, plugs the gap. Edwards on her way to second. She'll make it standing. So 2 on with nobody out for the Blaze here in the 6th inning.
Nice piece of hitting here from Edwards. Back-to-back hits from the Blaze. Saw the single from Otis and now the double from the veteran.
So Edwards does her job, picks up her second hit of the day. She'll be replaced at second base by yesterday's starting pitcher for the Blaze, Ocasio.
The Blaze have had a hit in every single inning. They just have not been able to rally and put it together the way that the Volts have. It's not like they have been completely shut out. They have had opportunities.
Shortstop from Utah, Urtez.
Here's Urtez. Down the right field line. That's fair. And the game will continue. Urtez on her way to third, and she'll make it with a slide. A 2-run triple, Anissa Urtez, and it's a 7-run game, and the run-ahead rule goes by the wayside.
Well, Kelly Crutchman, head coach of the Volts, is going to come out and ask for an umpire challenge. Sierra Romero out in right field and Kelsey Stewart-Hunter were pointing foul ball all the way. The way that Anissa Urtez hit that, it was really slicing right.
So this is going to be a coach's challenge. Oh, are they out of challenges?
Well, we could see an umpire review.
Huh?
Not sure why they wouldn't.
I thought this was fair, and we have a great vantage point from where we are.
Really? I thought it was foul. Oh, here we go.
It's on the chalk. Don't question my eyes. Doesn't make a difference if it hits the chalk, it's fair.
Yep.
And it hits the chalk.
It hits the chalk. My goodness, an inch of chalk right there. That is why we set up our camera right there.
We don't need to have a coach's challenge. Just ask me, and I'll tell you.
True. Yeah. I don't even need to be here. Just getting in the way. Nice shot.
So Urtez, great time for her first triple of the season.
Now heading to the Blaze, catcher from Duke, Anna Gold.
Here's Anna Gold. Heck of a bounce back game for Gold. A rookie from Duke yesterday had 2 plate appearances and struck out swinging both times against Rachel Garcia. Today she clearly woke up on the different side of the bed. She's 2 for 2 with a double, a single, and a run batted in. Hits this into the teeth of the wind. Gets knocked down. Lorenz makes the play. No chance for Ortiz to move forward. So the Volts still relatively comfortable, but they know they have to play another inning. Peyton Gotcha was thinking if she could just get the 3 outs without giving up 2 runs, the run-ahead rule would take effect and this game would be over after 6 innings. Sierra Briggs. First at bat for Briggs. Briggs hitting for Kaylee Harding, lifted after an 0-for-2 ball game. Briggs thinking small ball, she can fly. Ball and 2 strikes.
A slap hitter from LSU. Has great barrel control, one of the best drag bunters in the college game as of recent.
Aubrey Leach on deck. And Seal with the plays at first. Oh, what a play. That's a great arm by Jennings. Looked a lot like Shelby Pendley used to. Able to throw from every single angle, and that's what you needed to do. Throw from down under to get the swift Briggs at first.
Look at you breaking it down with that low arm angle. You can see where she fields it, and she throws it from the position of where she fields it, knowing the speed of Briggs. And you practice that. You practice all those arm angles as a shortstop, as also Jessie Warren. We'll see her throw from all different arm angles.
Aubrey Leach trying to keep the inning alive. 0-for-3 for Aubrey. Still looking for her first hit of the season. She tied Amanda Lorenz for the best batting average last fall in the AU championship season. She hit a robust .379. Another chance for Jennings. Side is retired, but we play on. Because of the 2-run triple by Anissa Ortiz, this is back to being a 7-run ball game, and we'll play the 7th inning. Volts lead 10-3. We have played 12 half innings, and we have had at least 1 run scored in half of them. The Volts lead the Blaze 10-3. We've made it to inning number 7 here at Wilkins Stadium in Wichita, Kansas. Both sides with double-digit hits. This is what's upcoming in the AUSL. We've got the final game of this series tomorrow. Volts and Blaze. The series between the Talons and the Bandits will finish off on Tuesday. That'll be in Rosemont, and then just the game's continuing almost non-stop for the first 2 months.
These teams are going to get very familiar with each other. But that's nothing new after a couple of seasons of the Athletes Unlimited individual type of season. So, of course, we've got that regular team format now, but 4 teams next year. Exciting that we will see 6. Just adds another element to it, and I think that 6 teams will be very easy to fill because the reserve pool in this first season, man, that reserve pool could be another team in itself with the talent that we're going to see this season.
New catcher, Kayla Kowalik. She's behind the plate. It's been an interesting day for Kowalik. Wasn't in the starting lineup, but she came in and played center field when Aaliyah Andrews had to leave, and now she's behind the plate. That is a true utility. Jessie Warren is the batter. Warren, Garcia, Romero scheduled to hit here against Hope Troutwine Valdespino. One for 4 day for Jessie. I think just her being out on the field is a victory. Scary injury for her when she overran third base on a triple. I really thought that that was going to be something that was going to keep her out for a bit. That's one thing that is very commendable about the AUSL is there is a deep commitment to training staff. So we've got multiple athletic trainers on every roster. Got equipment managers. Good golly. You got a deep coaching staff. It's been fun to see the advancement that we've had in professional softball over the years with the level of commitment all the way around.
That's definitely done right and done well. Deep support staffs. The investment that you, or the jump that you're making from the AU season a season ago to now the new AUSL and the team format, you have to really bolster all of these teams with a different support staff.
Oh, buckled the knees of Jessie Warren. She was surprised, and that's the second time today that Troutwine Valdespino has struck out Jessie Warren.
And both times on the change. Inning ago, it was swinging. This one is looking. Troutwine Valdespino is setting up that change so well, working the rise early in the counts, getting hitters' eyes to look up in the zone. You saw the foul balls, and then you just kind of pull that changeup out of nowhere.
Here's Rachel Garcia. To the shortstop. Long throw by Otis. 2 down. We'll talk about softball royalty, having conversations and figuring out how the game is being played and how to make it even better. Those are two of the GMs, significant names. You got Kat Osterman, who's the GM for the Volts, next to Dana Sorensen, who's the GM for the Blaze.
That's a cool shot.
Yeah.
Just talking shop. First weekend. I'm sure there's some learning curves for them as well as their players and just everyone kind of figuring out. Did we have a play in the stands? I think we did. A little applause there, but everyone just kind of figuring out what everyone's role is.
Sierra Romero's had a nice day. 3 hits. This one popped up into center field. Wynn's going to keep it playable. And the catch is made by Briggs. Side retired. 3 up and 3 down here in the top of the 7th inning. To the bottom of the 7th we go. The Volts lead the Blaze 10-3. Made it to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Volts lead 10-3 over the Blaze. That's a whole bunch of runs. Somehow the Volts went 1-2-3 in the first inning and 1-2-3 in the 7th inning, and then did all that damage in the middle of the game.
9 runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's kind of interesting. You look at the scoreboard, and the Volts have 15 hits. The Blaze have 10. And so it's felt like a very one-sided game with the Volts in control, but I'm just telling you, the Blaze have had hits. They just have not been able to string them together.
Kayla Kowalik leads things off against Peyton Gottschall. Came to the ballpark about 2 hours before the game started, and I looked up at the flags, and I said, oh, my goodness, all that wind blowing in. This is going to be a 1-0 game, maybe 2-1. On the ground is short. Jennings showing off a great arm. 1 down. But as I was watching batting practice and talking to the players, I got the sense that this is a professional environment. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, the wind is here. We're going to hit line drives. We're going to keep it on the ground. And for the most part, both sides have been able to do that.
Yep, no home runs hit. Just had the triple from Otis. That has been a lot of RBI singles, a couple of RBI doubles.
Here's Bailey Klingler. 2 hits on Saturday, 2 hits today. Hits this one well to right field. Off the wall. Extra bases for Klingler. She has got 3 hits so far this weekend. 3 hits today, 5 on the weekend. Man, she's swinging a good bat.
Yeah, this is the hottest hitter in the game on either side. She singled up the middle twice today, had hits yesterday. It gets a pitch a little bit more elevated where she can do some damage. I'm telling you, if the wind is not blowing in, that's probably a home run.
Danielle Gibson Horton 0 for 3. Her second look at Peyton Gottschall. Gotchel coming on. In inning number 4, she replaced Mariah Masson, who pitched the first 3 innings. Masson gave up 1 run in the 2nd inning. Gotchel has given up a pair. Those runs were allowed in the bottom of the 6th. Needs to throw a strike here. There it is. You got a 7-run lead. The most important thing is hitting the strike zone. Uh-oh. So runners on at first and at second. And now the number 5 hitter, Corby Otis, will bat.
Well, for the Blaze, the bottom part of the lineup has actually been the most productive, starting here in the 5 spot. It's where the 3 runs have come from.
It was an inning ago that Otis had a line drive single against Gotchel to begin the inning, followed by the double by Edwards and the triple by Ortiz.
You were wanting a home run after that, weren't you?
Oh, the natural cycle. I've seen a lot of ball played over the years. I've never seen the first 4 batters in any inning get a single, double, triple homer in that order. Almost had it.
Good crowd today. Obviously, yesterday had the pizzazz of opening day, but, you know, day 2, infield is full.
Right back to Gotchel, who goes to third. Throw to first, not in time, so the game continues. There are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's Taylor Edwards trying to keep the game alive. High, deep, but foul. 0-1. Typical Edwards day, tailor-made, you could say. She is 2 for 3, hit the ball hard all 3 times. Single in the 2nd, double in the 6th. The only time she made an out check, she made 2. Lined the ball to the 3rd baseman, Jesse Warren, who turned a double play on her. One strike away from ending this one.
Just want to quickly give Peyton Gotchel her flowers. She's had a great relief appearance coming in after Mariah Mason, who started the game, has limited the damage. We talked about the singles and a couple of doubles that the Blaze have hit, but any time that they have threatened, she has just shut it down, limited those big innings.
3-2. So Edwards has battled all the way back from 0-2, trying to keep this game alive. Called strike 3, and that'll do it. The Volts move to 2-0 on the season. The Blaze, they fall to 0-2. It's a wonderful win from soup to nuts for the Volts. They win 10-3.
This is an impressive team win for the Volts. Multiple people in on the action. 9 runs scored in 3 innings, 15 hits on the day. I really think that this is one of the tougher offensive teams in the league, and they showed us why.
Congratulations to the Volts, folks. They are going to be a tough out all season long. They've got reinforcements coming over from Japan. When they're fully together, they got offense, they've got defense, they've got pitching. Good golly. All right, 10-3 is your final score. 15 hits on the afternoon for the Volts, and they win this one going away. Sure hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Athletes Unlimited Softball continues. We'll have a game tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Visit theausl.com to learn more. For my partner, Kenzie Fowler, and our entire crew, I'm Eric Collins saying goodbye from Wichita, and thanks for watching, everybody.